All right. All right. We are live, Cathy Graham. Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Let's do this. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Mike Lawson here with CU Broadcast. Welcome to our live cast with Desert Financial's very own Cathy Graham. Cathy, how are you today? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, better now that you're here because I'm really loving the topic that we're going to talk about today. And it's financial well-being and why it's important to start with your employees. I mean, this is a take that hasn't been talked about very much, and leave it to you guys at Desert Financial to really bring it to the surface. So I'm really, really excited for today's discussion. So let's start with the first question, shall we, Cathy?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. So financial well-being is obviously incredibly beneficial for consumers and members. And we've seen that time and time again. And you guys do that just as well as anybody out there in the industry today. So, but let's flip it on its head a little bit here. Let's look at the other side of the coin here. So you guys have made you made this a central component of your strategic plan for your employees. So really like to hear more about this. So can you expand on that a little bit?
Absolutely. So we're very committed to empowering financial well-being for our members, for our community. And we realize that if we're going to do that well, we have to start with our employees. It's really easy to get excited about financial well-being. I think every credit union out there believes in it. And I think as an industry, we do a really nice job.
Yes, we do.
And at the same time, I heard something that just really struck me, and it's that you can't coach above your own level of evolution or your own level of experience. And it really made us stop and go, we have a lot of really young employees, especially on the front line. We have 50 branches, and we have a lot of young people who operate our phones and in our branches and in the back office. And understanding that I know when I was 21 coming out of college, my financial well-being was not great. I didn't understand how credit worked. I didn't understand very much about how to establish myself, and that feeling of being scared or concerned or confused is really heavy. And so we decided, before we really lean hard into the member side, let's see where our employees are. So we did some surveys and focus groups, and we learned some hard stuff. We learned as a financial institution, I think we often feel like we all understand finances and we're all good, right? And if you're not, it's because you're mismanaging your money. But what we found out is that we have a very large segment of our employees that are in a financial well-being bucket called suffering. And it feels heavy.
Yeah,
it feels scary and hopeless.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of research. When we started this, we did research and we found out where our members are. There's 3 buckets. There's thriving, struggling, suffering. And so we know where our members are. And then we did the same research for employees, and we have so many more employees that are in the suffering bucket than our members are.
Wow.
And so how are those employees supposed to meet with a member and help that member to gain confidence and optimism about their finances when they feel hopeless and stuck?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a discovery that was for you guys. So was that kind of the why behind this? And I'm sure you guys were already doing some form of financial education, but it sounds like you really upped the ante, you really upped your game in this area for employees, because you want your employees to be somewhat financially stable, somewhat financially knowledgeable to help members who are in need, right? So was that kind of the why? Did that really stem like maybe an extra boost of momentum here?
Absolutely. It felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And we felt like, certainly, let's prepare our employees. But the research really hit home. It was really hard to hear quotes. One employee, there was a quote that said, it's embarrassing to be a 20-year employee and not be able to qualify for a mortgage and barely be able to qualify for an auto loan. It's embarrassing. And so financial well-being is about how you feel about your financial future. It's not necessarily how much money you make, although the more money you make, it certainly doesn't hurt. But do you have the tools? Do you have the skills and knowledge? How do you feel about your finances? And so to hear direct quotes like that, it was really hard to hear. But then data is a gift, feedback is a gift. What are we going to do to help our employees? So we have a financial coaches program, and we need to really ramp that up and make sure that the people that are in the most need are using it. We found that the awareness of our financial coaches program, the thriving people said, "Yep, I know all about that. I'm so happy that we offer that." But the suffering people, they were less aware. It's almost like they're just so in the moment, and so just trying to survive.
Oh yeah.
So how do we make sure they understand we offer this? How do they feel like it's a safe place to go? And what we learned is that our employees know what to do. Some of them just don't have the means to do it. So we took a good hard look at pay. We care about our employees. We believe we're very competitive, but we really took a deep dive. I don't know if you heard that B of A announced this week that they're increasing their minimum pay for entry-level employees to $25 an hour. A couple of years ago, it was, I don't know, $13, $14, $15 an hour. So B of A has been making big strides because the cost of living has been increasing dramatically.
Yes.
I like to think that credit unions care about their employees more than B of A does. No offense, B of A. I just feel like credit unions are kinder, gentler, more caring. We had to take a good hard look at pay and understand, are we providing a livable wage to all of our employees? And we realized we can do better. So we're looking at pay, financial education, the financial coaches, tools, how we look at lending to employees. These aren't strangers. We've hired you. We've done a background check. We know you. Can we do more to support our employees when they need a loan to consolidate debt or to navigate an unexpected medical expense or something like that? So we're looking at all of those things. And then through our foundation, we also have a program called the Taking Care of Our Own Fund. It's a fund it's fully funded by employees. We make donations, and this is for employees who have a financial emergency to ask for help. And it can be up to $10,000. And we have, it's very anonymous. And there's there's a group that evaluates the applications, and it's very confidential. And so just understanding we can do more.
No doubt.
To help our employees.
Wonderful ways to uplift your employees. And as you're talking, Cathy, I'm thinking about a great turnaround story. Somebody who goes from suffering to thriving. And can you imagine that person's just their state of being? And then also taking it a step further, and those people can turn that around and help other people say, hey, you know what? I was in the boat that you were in. These are the steps that I took based on what my credit union provided me. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that. I mean, what a credit union thing to do, right? Especially not only for your members, but gosh, your staff, your family. Wow. That would just be an incredible story. And I'm sure if it hasn't happened already, I know it's going to happen, especially at a credit union like yours, where you guys are really, you guys step up day in, day out for your employees, I'm sure. So oh my gosh, that would be a wonderful story. Oh, what a great video testimonial that would be.
Right.
And I'm sure it's going to happen.
Being able to say, I've been there is huge because there is a lot of shame around when you're suffering with your finances. People don't want to admit that they're stuck or they don't know. Completely. And so how do we take that off the table so we can just help?
Right. Especially when you work at a financial institution. Are you kidding me? Wow. All right. So I want to turn it back to the members here. So it's obviously, this is such an important message to start with your staff, start with your family, your employees, and then let's turn around. So how do you see this effort ultimately trickling down and then benefiting your members? Because it sounds like, again, that last scenario where somebody who is suffering can turn it around and then help others as well based on their experience. So how do you see it ultimately maybe benefiting your members?
Absolutely. So the same data that we have on our employees, we have on our members. We know the percentage of our members that are thriving, struggling, suffering. And so we have some key metrics in the organization to move that needle. And we also serve our members regularly and ask them a question on a scale of 1 to 10. How much do you think Desert Financial is a partner for you in your financial success, and measuring that and moving the needle. I think that if we can help our members to have peace of mind, there are financial topics that are scary and keep people up at night.
Yeah.
How can we help people to feel confident and ready for the future, whatever that may be?
Yeah.
And so I think that there's a lot that we can do above and beyond what we're doing today. So we're looking at, getting a CDFI designation, and are there products and services that we can do to help people who need a hand up? What else can we be doing above and beyond what we're doing today? The financial coaches program, we initially started it and piloted it for members, and then we quickly understood what actually we need to extend this to employees too.
Oh, good move.
So really understanding that, and not just consumer members, but business members. How do we help them to feel confident?
Yeah,
How do we help them to have a plan? And so coaching them as they're either starting a new business or navigating, trying to grow their business. We honestly believe that this could have a huge impact on our members. And it just becomes a virtuous circle. Then the loyalty that they demonstrate back to the organization helps us to thrive, and then we can do more to help them to thrive. It just feels like such a credit union thing to do.
Indeed.
And it can be really powerful. And our whole entire organization has embraced this. Our whole organization is excited about this. It feels great to come to work for a company that is demonstrating that we care about people in meaningful ways, and that it doesn't always have to be about profit or making money or we're going to do some things that might not have a positive ROI. That's all right. We're a very strong, stable organization. We're not going to do anything to harm the organization. We're member owned. We have an obligation to make sure that we're doing a good job. There's so much room for us to do good.
Well, I see it. This type of stuff pays off in the long run in more ways than one. So, that could be a whole nother show in itself. But the other thing that I'm thinking about, Cathy, as you're talking, that obviously you guys are an education-based credit union. And so you're going to have younger members, you're going to have younger staff. And if you guys can really step up, if you are, as you guys step up in the financial education department, that's only going to benefit those folks at a young age. Like we talked about at the very beginning, when you said, when we graduated from college, when we were 21 or whatever, we didn't have a clue. Now you guys at Desert Financial are really stepping up in there and teaching these younger members, these younger staff, your younger employees, hey, this is how to do it. This is how to, get financially straight and set you straight for the rest of your life. So what a gift that is as well. And again, that will pay off in the long run in more ways than one. So can you speak to that real quickly about being an education-based credit union and doing this?
Yeah, we started 85 years ago. 15 school teachers pulled together $78.75. That's how we started.
Wow. Oh my gosh,
and 85 years later, we're no longer just for educators, but we have such a huge component of our membership that is based in that community. And we also have a partnership with ASU University, and we have a partnership with NAU University, Northern Arizona University. And so we are attracting a lot of young members. And how are we helping them? I remember a day when I was right out of college where I had $5 and I had to choose between getting gas and buying some food. And I had to choose gas.
Been there,
and I remember how that felt. And so how do we help them to navigate? How do we help them to feel confident and to give them the tools? Nobody taught me how to do anything. And I did some stuff wrong. A lot of stuff wrong. How do we help them avoid that? Give them tools, give them coaching, and help them to understand that they don't have to go through the same things you would go through if absolutely nobody helped you.
Yeah. Yeah. And to have a credit union step up and help you is just icing on the cake, especially at that time in your life. All right. It might be too soon to ask this question, but any results type information or any anecdotes or anything like that? I know you shared a couple earlier in the talk, but anything to share to illustrate how it's panning out, or maybe we can do a part 2 down the line where you have a bit more time to get some more.
From an employee perspective, I would love to do a part 2 because we have baseline information.
Gotcha.
We have real data. And so we can continue to take a look at that and see how we're moving the needle. We have real data on the member side as well. And so I think that there's going to be an opportunity to really share, here's some things that we were able to do, and here was the impact. Also, we're going to stub our toe. We're going to get some stuff wrong. We're going to learn some stuff. That's okay too. If we can share some of those things as well, because I know there are so many credit unions out there that really believe in this. And if this can be helpful, so happy to do that.
Yep. And that segues perfectly to my last question here. Any advice for other credit unions who are looking to do something similar or are already down the road doing something similar, but are hitting some hurdles or something? Any advice for those folks?
I would say that Callahan's and Gallup have an amazing program around financial well-being, and it was designed specifically for credit unions. So Desert Financial is part of a cohort. I think there have been 2 or 3 other cohorts that walk this path together, and we learn from each other. And Gallup is amazing at measuring everything. You don't have to create the wheel. Reach out to whoever your contact is at Callahan's. I'm sure they'd be happy to talk to you about this program. But even if that's not something that you're able to do, talk to members and talk to employees about where they are. It can be a throat punch, but then you can do something with it. So start wherever you are. But there are definitely some resources if you're able to make this part of your strategic plan and put some resources into it, that you're not alone on this journey.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. Leverage that collaboration superpower that credit unions have. And you guys know that all too well. So good stuff. All right, Cathy, anything else here to add to wrap up before I let you get back to work? Because I know you probably have a full plate today, so I don't want to keep you too long.
Absolutely. Just thank you for having me. Thank you for giving a platform to this topic. I think it's really relevant today, and hopeful that a lot of credit unions can start with their employees.
Yep, indeed. Wonderful message indeed. And I knew this would be a great interview, and you knocked it out of the park, Cathy. So thank you so much for your time and all the great things that you guys do at Desert Financial. You guys just never fail to impress. So keep up the good work there. And I look forward to part 2. Nice little cliffhanger, nice little teaser for the next time for folks out there. So stay tuned, everybody. And we'll have Cathy back on soon. All right. So thanks again. Appreciate the time, Cathy. Well done.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
You are welcome. Oh my goodness. That was, oh my gosh, epic. Well done.